What's up, guys? How you doing? Let's get rid of that pop-up there. Cool. It's been a while since I've been able to do a YouTube video. I understand a lot of people are doing 4th of July stuff, blowing stuff up in the US. Hashtag just buy alts from Thesis. Yeah. Some of them are in a good spot for accumulation, that's for sure. But Bitcoin confirms this double top. There could be even better location for some altcoins. So let's go through the daily chart and break it down to the lower time frames, because I know some of you guys might be nervous about the current price that Bitcoin's at, which is understandable because it's at a make it or break it moment in both a short-term and a long-term sense. So we'll take a look at that kind of stuff. So let's look at the daily really quick. Give a quick analysis. For those of you who have been trading longer than 2 days, will know that this is a big double top. It gets scary. So what we want to see to make sure it doesn't confirm is the best case scenario. Today's daily candle, we'd want it to close above this daily candle neckline right here. Because if it closes below, it increases the chances of it confirming as a double top. It'll give the opportunity for this neckline to act as a form of resistance and bring us back down with the lower low and confirm this massive double top structure. And the double top structure has the momentum based target of 46,000. However, there is a lot of liquidity right below this level right here at around like 50,500. And this is a very strong demand zone. So this could block our ability from hitting that target. Even if this bearish case scenario does play out, this is a barrier towards the technical target that you're going to have to be aware of if you're going to be shorting the market. Or if you are thinking about selling your Bitcoin in reaction to this confirmation and you want to try to accumulate at a level that you don't want to accumulate at a level and then eventually it continues to go down. So if we end up seeing a reversal here, that's a good sign to jump back in. But if we instead build a continuation pattern at this area of potential demand, then don't buy or stay in your short and hold it to the technical target. But that's our main hurdle if we do have this bearish case scenario play out. But on chain, there's more bullish things going on in the background than bearish. So it doesn't mean that this won't play out, but it just doesn't feel like this is the end of the bull market if this double top plays out. That's all. So what some of you might already know, when we hit this top again, at this time, roughly around this time, we had the halving event. And ever since then, miners have been in a state of capitulation. They've been making less money from their mining than what they've been making, right? So they're at a loss because right now, if we refresh this page here, we'll find out how much it's costing to make a Bitcoin. And it's $73,000 to make Bitcoin, and right now it's at 58,000. So what this basically means is if they were to sell their Bitcoin, they'll be selling it at a loss. And normally when we're in a state of capitulation, it's a bullish sign because they typically hold their Bitcoin holdings until the price action reaches roughly around their break even before they start thinking about selling their Bitcoin again. But they don't usually. It's a business, right? They don't usually sell it at break even. They'll try to accumulate as much profits as they possibly can. What's the TA behind the setup? So the recent setup that I just did, we hit this strong area of demand right here. And if we look at the local price action, the 15-minute time frame, we had a double bottom structure confirm as a form of support. The neckline acts as a form of support with a higher high. And we're maintaining this momentum. It looks like we just recently lost it. On the 5 minute, we're combating the same level of resistance that we're just looking at on the daily is this level right here. And we had a sell wall, and we actually the sell wall is basically gone now. The next sell wall is at 58,590. So if we come back up here, we should be able to pierce through it no problem. There's a lot of bullish confluence with this setup, but unfortunately we got pushed down relatively briefly after entering. So I'm holding strong on this position, and my target is the top of this area here. We can anticipate that there's going to be some supply to be taken out off this recent high, and this could end up being an area of rejection to be aware of. And if we get rejected, then this could become a larger range, and this range will dictate the structure that we're going to use to help define whether or not we're going to get the reversal and go back inside this macro value area that we've been ranging in since February, or if we're going to get a continuation structure and go down towards that 46K target. So this is kind of the make it or break it moment for Bitcoin, at least in the short-term sense, and we're not going to get acceptance into that macro value area, or if we're going to go down to the 46K level. And yeah, and if we do come down to these levels, like it's very possible that this double top could convert into a potential, falling wedge kind of structure. It depends on falling wedges usually are formed from the lack of confidence of a drop. So we'll see what kind of volume we get. But if we get a lack of confidence and slower volume, we end up getting less and less and less volume as we approach a strong level of support. As sellers get nervous about selling near our support level like that, and then we end up usually reversing from that event. So even if this does, confirm as a double top, when we come down, it doesn't mean it's the end. So just keep your eyes out. We got ejected at the value area high. Yeah, we got ejected at the local value area high here. So we pull a fixed range off of this level 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We're actually on the value area high, this local area. I vote go down big. You want to go down, eh? Yeah, some of you, if we entered the recent short that we did, you might still be in it. And even if you're not, there's a lot of potential setups along the way for a short. This was a great short opportunity here. A little bit nerve-wracking shorting around this area, but yeah, I hope it works for you, man. But at the same time, I don't. Because I kind of don't want an excuse to sell my Bitcoin. What do you guys want to go off of? I sucked just happened to have the day off, and I can watch it live. Nice, man. Right on. Yeah, I just had last week I had a tooth removed, and it was hard to talk for a little while, so couldn't do lives. Just focus on admin work for the business, InvestiShare and all that stuff. So, what do you guys want to go over? Prices give me more dollar cost value. Yeah, if you're a DCA trader, or you're just trying to accumulate something for a long-term hold, and now's a good time for a long-term hold. DXY, despite the sell pressure is actually stronger than the influence that the DXY has been having over it, despite how bearish it is. So this could give Bitcoin a nice position of strength if we get a recovery off this neckline. But it's just getting his butt kicked here, and the DXY just lost a key level. We might see it act as a form of resistance, and it could bring down its valuation down to like 104.63, and this is a pretty strong level, so we might see a strong bounce off of this area. But yeah, the DXY, after it lost its momentum, it was riding along at like a regression trend as a form of resistance till eventually giving up at a local high and double topped. And now we're seeing it go on a downtrend. So this downtrend might spark Bitcoin to have a stronger recovery. So that's one bullish outlook on Bitcoin right now. What are your thoughts on Tron? I have a nice bag. Was surprised to see it doing so well while everything else was dropping. Yeah, I saw Tron had its own relative strength for a bit. Let's take a look. Tron. I don't think I've charted in a while. Let's go to the daily first. Yeah, so Tron, it's still maintaining this uptrending momentum on the daily. So ever since it broke out of its macro structure back in February, it's just been maintaining this trend the entire time. And we recently just had a fractalized double bottom off of it right here. So we see how we double bottomed here, and now we've got a larger one here. And it's retesting that level, similar to what's going on with Bitcoin right now, but in a much larger scale. Like this is the daily time frame. So, so the setup that we're going through right now with Bitcoin, it's pretty close to what's matching Tron right now. So the measurable target for Tron, like if this plays out, we have that support bounce and we get that higher high. Then this is the momentum-based target from here. Yeah, above the previous all-time high is the measurable target. So we have to look at the barriers, of course, along the way up. But on the daily, we have obviously its all-time high, this previous level of support, and resistance. Those are our two key barriers along the way up. Unless there's some historical ones that I didn't have charted yet. So let's pull a fixed on this double top. Previous value area high, previous POC, and a previous value area low. Actually, strong resistance there. Let's see how well it's being respected over here. So yeah, the previous value area low built a strong area of support here and here. So we're behaving off of the previous value area pretty accurately. So now we just can anticipate that it could try to reach that value area high target while being mindful of those barriers. Now looking at the shorter term time frame price action for it, let's pull this evolving momentum here. So this is showing us the pace of the current move. And let's go to the 15. Let's see, we got the daily. Got some negative space on the 15 minute, and it acts as resistance here. So Tron, even though like Bitcoin's crashing, when Tron had its own relative strength to bring us up to these new levels. So as Bitcoin dropped, it put Tron in a position where it can look at local support, like previous resistance, and if Bitcoin recovers, like Tron does have quite a bit of Bitcoin liquidity, so like pairing liquidity, so it should influence Tron's price to go up short term if we get a good continuation on Bitcoin, and maybe give it a new higher high for that daily confirmation. But so far, it's got to get its way back up above that lost daily momentum right here. Like this is the daily here, and this is like the evolving 15 here. And right now we're having it act as a form of resistance. So we got to hold this level and maybe potentially double bottom from here if it does retrace a little bit further. But I'm actually kind of impressed with Tron and how well it's done during this cycle. And some network tokens, like Cardano, for example, Matic, even Atom, are not doing too hot, and seeing how well Tron's doing against them is pretty impressive. So that's Tron, man. Hey, Alex, how you doing, man? You're blowing up on YouTube. Yeah, it's getting there. Slowly getting there. You have to grind, but it's fun. Yesterday I was working on thumbnails because that's my weak point, and I'm thinking about making like 50 thumbnails beforehand so I can slap them up there for you guys and at the same time and not rush into it. See how well Bitcoin's doing. So yeah, we got a bounce so far off of that value area high. If we get the higher high, I'll be moving my stop loss below it. So let's microanalyze the 5. The 5 still looks like it's turning into an ascending triangle. Got the horizontal resistance. If we get acceptance back above this level right here, then I will start drawing this uptrending support from there. And we could, yeah, pennant our way to this level. There is so much liquidity above us, it's insane. So looking at the heat maps, you kind of give it an idea of what's going on in the mind of a market maker. And you see all this liquidity starting to pool above us like this. You got to think of it like it's a magnet for the price action. Because the market makers are going to want to use that as potential exit liquidity. Or whales might need to use it for entering the market without slippage. So we got about 41 million locally above us at 58,700. And if we look at the sell walls and see how well it's guarded, we have about 58,590. There's a sell wall for about 400 Bitcoin. So it's guarded, but it's not heavily guarded. Liquidity there. So just watch out for potential resistance towards our target. Like our target's at 58,900, but we might see some hurdles around 58.7. Let's see. What else we got? You want me to look at Chainlink? We can do that. AVAX, Chainlink. Got 2 requests for Chainlink. All right, let's look at Chainlink, and then we'll dive into Avalanche for you, man. So let's pull this up. Load. Link. Chainlink has a tremendous amount of Bitcoin liquidity, so it pretty much moves wherever Bitcoin wants to go. Oh, it went down to 1261. I should be paying more attention to this because I have quite a bit of Cardano. So like I closed some of my position, just my seed investments out. But what we don't want to occur for Chainlink is the kind of the same scenario of what we don't want to occur for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's got a giant double top. It has a massive head and shoulders. You know, the head and shoulders is just a window into seeing how the market's behaving with, you know, sellers. We failed to create a higher high. The buyers couldn't get that higher high, so we start a downtrend on the right shoulder. And Fibonacci traders, you know, they see this kind of macro divergence, and when we come down and we start get that recovery, usually the right shoulder is a golden pocket that they react off of, and it enhances the sell pressure for the right shoulder. So let's take a look really quick and see how that played out. Yeah, it hit the golden pocket perfectly. I know you can't see it, but there's a wick there. That's where I got my pull from. There, just deleted trend line. Now you can see it. You can see we hit the golden pocket perfectly. Now we're coming down. We got a bit of a dead cat bounce here, and now we double topped off of it and we're coming down. Right now we're in a really strong area of demand for Chainlink, but it is still the same kind of scenario as Bitcoin. We're in a make it or break it moment for it. So we need to stay above, I could preferably back inside this white box or higher. If we see this white box act as a form of resistance, then it'll confirm the head and shoulders, and its measurable target is way down here at 829. However, same scenario as Bitcoin. We have, sorry, someone was calling me. We have an area of demand right here. You know, same area where, roughly the same placement area as Bitcoin around the 50K level. If Bitcoin went down to around 50K, then Chainlink would be here relative to that position, around like 1147. And this is its potential reversal area, or an area where we'll see consolidation and get a continuation pattern to go down no further. So, yeah, make it or break it moment, second wind and last chance, and then technical target if this doesn't hold it up. And that's the daily. We can zoom in on the 15-minute and see if there's any structural warnings. Right now we're a bit of a descending channel. We broke momentum here, but let's see. Yeah, we broke momentum. Kind of getting resistance off this local support. Get acceptance back above this. Same scenario with Bitcoin. If we get that acceptance above this area, then we have to watch this local high, and it could bring us back down and potentially give us an inverse head and shoulders structure. And if that plays out, this would roughly be around where the neckline would become for that kind of structure. But if you're not in on a trade here, I'd be careful. But you could break this high, get a candle close back inside this local value area here, and then you can target the recent high here, so long as the R&R is safe with the stop loss guard. And that's the short-term price action. But that could build a picture for Chainlink to give it a nice strong reversal back inside this area. But if we fail to get that acceptance and get a new lower low, then it'd be pretty rough. And I guess arguably it could be the kind of same for Bitcoin, but it doesn't really give you that structural behavior as an inverse head and shoulders. We're getting that same kind of acceptance that we kind of want with Chainlink up here. Like Bitcoin's getting it roughly now. So maybe Bitcoin will lead the race for Chainlink and give you a window into the future here for Chainlink here. Alex got long from 56,900. 56.9 on the second bounce, I'm assuming here, right? That makes sense. Great job, man. If you did it here, it's a lot of hopium, but here it makes sense. It's epic. Are you still in that trade, man? Because if you're still in that trade, like, there's a strong chance of a continuation here. Right on, man. Perfect. Yeah, so like here, we're probably going to be flopping over around here and get some resistance, but you're in a position where you can hold that you can add to your winning position. Let's say this does play out and we then eventually break this, then you can add to your winning position, move your average from your average is here, If you entered around here, if you put the equal weighted value of your position at this point, your average would be below like the right shoulder if we develop it. And then you can hold that for a while. Maybe even to the top of the macro structural range. Yes, sir. Second bounce. Yes, second TP at 59,100. All right, so your second TP is basically my first on this setup. What time was that? 10:30. See. Kyle, what alt would you recommend buying and holding right now? What alt? Well, you want to make sure that you're gonna have a recovery posture before thinking about investing in an altcoin right now. But I would think about their relative, with their position right now. Look for stuff that's oversold. You can go to a tool like, go to Coin Inc, for example, and use their RSI heat map. And you can see all the different assets right now that are overbought and oversold. And there's pretty much all of them are oversold right now. Let's go to the 6 hour. The alts tend to recover really quick, so lower time frame stuff might help. And if this one's not good, then you can use CoinGlass's RSI heat map, because I find it gives you a little bit more data on their RSIs. But personally, if I were thinking about accumulating anything, it would probably be Atom and Solana. I got enough Chainlink. Would you invest in Sneak? I followed Max into Sneak and I'm holding a lot. I don't. I'll trade meme coins, but I won't invest in them. I tend to usually do a quick buy and hold. Like, I'm in and out pretty quickly. I think the longest I ever held a meme coin was probably 60 days. But the average hold for me for a meme coin is usually a month. Like, I bought like Kishu and U and held that for 30 days, made like 14 grand on a $200 purchase. But I usually focus on stuff with utility and have lots of trade participants, so I don't get a random wick from a single trader bringing the price down to my stop loss. I want to make sure that if I'm wrong in a trade, that I can learn from it. You can't really learn from any meme coin setups. And then there's Wagner talking about Karma. Yeah, Karma's at the previous all-time high of the last cycle, so it's at a really good buy opportunity place right now too. And if we return back to its recent high, it'll be an 80% pump. Let's see. Karma to $1. Yeah, Karma to $1 won't be hard. It only takes $7 million to bring it to $1. It's a low supply. ADA is a meme coin. It's just becoming one. Yeah. It's at 37 cents now for Cardano. That's rough, man. There's a lot of people that like, I sold all my Cardano, but let's pull it up really quick. So Cardano is just it's a lot of its market share is being absorbed by the AI sector. And all the money flow is just going from here into stuff like INJ and all these new render and stuff like that. So getting his butt kicked basically by his competitors. And if we get, it did so well after we got above 39 cents here. It's a really, really good long opportunity. Because it normally when it climbs slow, but it just skyrocketed to local resistance here, recovered after a falling wedge, and then went to a higher interest on the last cycle. And now we're back inside this macro value area after getting this rejection off of this previous flag. So it's still getting his butt kicked. So I'm not holding it, and I'm not holding Matic anymore either. Matic disrespected a level of support that basically said I'm done. I made, like 2x on Matic this cycle, and I don't like how the picture that it's painting right now is just telling me that it could now potentially go as low as like 28 cents. And that's insane to me. So I'm like, I'm not taking that risk. Kyle, when do I get to take you golfing? When do you want to embarrass yourself on the field, bro? Because I have never... The closest thing to golfing I've ever done was mini putt. So, depends on how you you feel. Dot. Let's look at Dot. Yeah, let's take a peek at Dot. I don't have a Dot chart. All right. Still against that. There's no sell wall there anymore, is there? No, it's all eaten up. There's not very much resistance there then. Loading up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said there was no dot chart. I'll see if I have one right here. Let's go to the daily for dot. It's been a little while. Okay, so yeah, the last time we looked at dot was this rising wedge structure, and it broke out, made it like a bear flag that gave it the momentum it needed to break out of that support. And this is the measurable target. And it's bottom of the structure. Now it's getting rejection off of a previous value area low of this potential head and shoulders. So it's a lot like Chainlink. Its posture's looking pretty bearish, but it's in the lead of the drop. Like, it's already dropped below the neckline and acting as resistance. It just needs a lower low, and then it'll confirm that structure. The 3.434 is the target. I don't think it'll hit that target at all, but that's the measurable target. It could potentially go as low as, like, I'd say, and we're bouncing off this previous consolidation here, having acted as a form of support. And if it loses this area of interest, that's his last shield really before coming down to 428. But there's one bullish way you can chart this. If that plays out, then yeah, it's gone. But you can see this starting to form into a potential falling wedge, but that lower low would confirm the head and shoulders instead, and the break above this level would confirm the wedge structure. You get 2 points of interest on this chart. They should watch very closely, and it'll probably range between them. Keep your heartstrings pulled. Get rid of that. This. Yeah, so 653 is the level you want to recover. 557 is the level you want to break if you want to do a short. Sorry. I think I should try our softening. Any thoughts about ENA? We can take a look at ENA, but I don't even know what ENA is. So ENA, USDT, Athena. Look at it on the Binance chart. Is it older than this? April. Yeah, April. Let's look at this is the Bybit chart. Can't really give you much TA on this. It's in price discovery right now. So like you see on your TradingView chart, these blocks represent psychological levels. And they'll get smaller and smaller as the price goes down. So you got to watch all these psychological levels as a form of support. They'll be verified on the order books for that asset if there are buyers waiting at a psychological level. They usually rest around those psychological levels. But in terms of like waiting for like a reversal, there's no, you can tell just by looking at the daily posture that there might not be any structure yet to dictate that kind of reversal. This is a most recent high that we'd watch. Yeah, it's got steep momentum. Nothing really can help you with this one, sorry. Just watch out for those rounded numbers like 40 cents, 41 cents. See what the buy orders are doing. You're going to need more structure to help define a safe reversal on this. Like a large double bottom or an inverse head and shoulders, stuff like that. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing here. Yeah. How you guys been doing during this downtrend? This downtrend ever since we lost the daily momentum. I found that a lot of my rules have been, get my setup, and my win rate during this period is the lowest it's ever been. It's been rough. I'm still profitable, but it's rough. Dealing with this accumulation against the capitulation of the miners. There are lots of whales buying during this drop, like tons and tons and tons of whales buying. But the miners selling, in confluence with that, it's been making the price action really choppy and awkward. So big sellers against big buyers during all this. Obviously the sellers are winning right now. Most of those sellers are miners, but it's been pretty wild. Like miners have been selling to BlackRock and Coinbase, and now that the flows to the ETFs have slowed down, they have no one to sell to other than the exchanges, so now it's actually impacting the price. So it's been driving the price down. What about Anchor? I've been DCAing into Anchor for 3 years now. Anchor is a really good asset for developers, so it's a good choice to invest in that one. Just gotta watch their competitors in the space. Like, you gotta think of every crypto altcoin as a startup company, and it's really easy to develop and grow in the cryptocurrency space. So you just gotta keep an eye on the competition, just in case they arbitrage the market cap on your asset here. Yeah, it got stomped down recently too after hitting this local historical level of support as resistance, right? If we pull a fixed off of that consolidative period, yeah, it's right off the value area low. And we got that rejection. And it had a head and shoulders. You can also see it as a descending triangle. And then it already hit its measurable target. Like it's already there. If we grab from here to the support. Oh, it's basically where I did, yeah. The next key level is down here at 0.2465. You always want a DCA in a position of strength, like knowing that it's going to reverse. So this is the momentum that I would watch right now. I also keep an eye out on this along the way up. That's the daily. This is your level that you want to have a break right now to confirm reversal on the daily. Let's go to 15. It's starting to, its pace of selling is starting to slow down. Could double bottom here and build a range here. It's young structure. We don't know for certain, but we could double bottom here. And then you just watch how the VWAP develops too. Typically when you're looking for a trade like this, you would want the VWAP to be flush with this neckline. So it could drag its feet, bring that VWAP flush with the neckline. Or what's the ETA? What's the left shoulder inside is about 5 hours. So around close to midnight. Yeah, if this double bottoms be around midnight tonight before it confirms. Oh, good choice for investing. It's not that bad. For a really long-term hold. What else we got here, guys? Thoughts on Maxon over 55% short right now? Maxon, what's that? I gotta go in about 8 minutes, guys. I'm sorry. I got another meeting right after this. It's Maxon. I never heard of Maxon. Is that decentralized only? I don't see it on. Yeah, I don't see it on TradingView. What was that? Oliver had a serious request. I bought long Bitcoin at 62,620 with 15x leverage. Now I'm down 44%. What would you do if you were in my crappy situation? Estimated liquidation at 52.8. Oh man, that's rough. Trading without a stop loss. It's, you have a 100% win rate trading without a stop loss until the one time you're wrong and then you lose everything. How much weighted percentage of your account is in that trade? Because like personally, there were like 4 reasons to get out of that long since then, right? I don't want to get stuck in that position, but like there's a way you can control it. Yeah, so with exchanges you have the ability to reduce your leverage, and you essentially form a type of, you can actually bring your leverage down to like 1x if you wanted to, or even 2x if you add margin to your position, and that would lower your liquidation level. But I still think you should get out if this massive double top confirms. If it doesn't confirm, you could hold your position until your in a profit again. But I don't want you to be adding to a losing position and end up losing more. But if you want to control your risk, I'd be at least reactional to this potential double top. If it confirms, we get that lower low on this structure, then you should listen to the warning signs, because we'd go down potentially to your liquidation price. Sorry, man, that's rough. You're at, what was you're long at 62,600. 62,600. Well, we did have a good break here, and then at I'm guessing you just didn't get out when we. I'm assuming this was your reasoning for entering. If you're in at 62,600, we had that breakout candle here. Then there's the previous value area low, act as a form of resistance. So if you didn't get out during the sell wall here, this was the warning sign to completely get out and accept the small loss. And that's where our last short was from there. I hope that helps you out, man, but yeah, try reducing your leverage on that position if you have margin aside. I'm not sure if you trade without a stop loss, it's usually because you're a martingale trader that DCAs your positions. You shouldn't do that with like high leverage like 15x. Or maybe you're on a bad exchange and then they hopped over your stop loss. That's happened to a lot of people before too. During a slippage events, your stop loss could be avoided and then it can just keep going down against you. That's usually why I recommend people trading with isolated margin instead of cross margin. In case that were ever occur, you don't want your entire account at risk. You only want whatever you put into your trade at risk. BNB, yeah, we can take a peek at BNB, but then I gotta head out, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be able to do more of these lives again now that my stitches are all healed in my mouth. But we're good. BNB here. BNB, in my opinion, has been one of the best network tokens in this cycle so far. I'm not sure if anyone in this chat jumped in with us on this during this long. And we made a killing on this position. A lot of people got scared out here, but if you held through that, it was a pretty quick run right to the previous all-time highs. And right now, BNB is consolidating off of the previous local support of the last cycle. Kind of like what Bitcoin's doing now, right? With this scary double top that hopefully doesn't confirm, right? We got that broad momentum there. And zoom in on the. We can pull fixed off this. Update the price structure. We're below the value area low of this consolidative period, and then we'll go to the 15. See if there's any signs of reversals here. We got a good V-shaped recovery, but nothing critical yet. Actually, that whole area is a bit of a threat. Okay, we broke that momentum. It looks like it's starting to build around the top a little bit. But similar to Bitcoin's current situation, we want to have acceptance back above this key area here. and we'll likely build a range here between, between this moment, this level here, and potentially here. Build a larger structure, and then that structure is going to define whether or not we're going to go down further or if we're going to go up. But its daily posture is, it's just really incomplete. Like, there's not any real signs that it will go down further from here yet, other than the massive potential bearish divergence there. Yeah, there's massive bearish divergence there on the 5-day. You can't see on the daily, but on the 5-day it's clear. Okay, guys, I've got to head out. Might be able to do another live tomorrow. I'll let you know. You can reach out to me in the Discord, and I'll be able to help you out. If there's any other more TA requests, guys, you can just reach out to me, and I can post some in the community for you. See what's going on with your favorite assets, and see if Bitcoin will help pull them up with it. Bitcoin right now needs to make that higher high. If we break this level here, it's going to confirm this as a negative change character, and it could bring the price back down to this local value area low. But the stop loss is at the invalidation point in case it wicks a little bit. But this market shift is really, even as my rules play out, it's been getting me more losses than wins lately. But as long as you manage your risk, you guys will be profitable. Let's see what we got. Alright, guys, you have an awesome day. Thanks for jumping on. I will keep you informed on my next live. I'm going to be improving these a lot more lately too. Doing some work on the studio and my OBS setup. I'm pretty pumped about that too. Alright, guys, have an awesome day. Thanks for jumping on. And I appreciate everyone who subscribed. It's helped the exchange out. I'm not the exchange. Got trading my mind. Helps the YouTube channel a lot. Helps bring awareness into the space and the algorithm and all that fun stuff.